Welcome to the news at 5. I'm Eddie Messel. You may have noticed some traffic around the Boise area. Well, that's because the Boise Ironman returned for a second year in a row after its decade-long absence from the City of Trees. The 70.3-mile swimming, biking, and running competition wrapped up earlier today in Julia Davis Park, which is where Terrence Holton was earlier this afternoon. He brings us all the sights and sounds.
If you're like me and a 1-mile swim feels like a lot, try adding a 56-mile bike ride and a marathon running to top it off. That's what you get when you get the Boise 70.3 Ironman, and all finished right behind me at Julia Davis Park.
The day began up at Lucky Peak, 1.2 miles back and forth across the reservoir. However, only for the professionals. Windy conditions made it unsafe for the amateurs, causing them to only do the biking and running portion. One amateur racer, Emily Carlson, partook in her first Ironman today, and for her, it was all about the people who helped her along the journey.
I've seen so many inspirational videos about, the people crossing the finish line and the red carpet, and I'm so excited to just run across that carpet and see my friends and my family who have trained with me, encouraged me. Not only is it my training and my journey, but it's all the people that have helped me along the way. One
of the most difficult aspects of an Ironman is staying mentally sharp. Competitors aren't allowed headphones, and for every racer, they stay locked in a different way.
I'm a nurse here at St. Luke's, and there's a lot of motivation, and I push my patients every day going through bone marrow stem cell transplants to be physically active. And I often think about those patients when I'm running and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awful. I'm like, well, remember when you had this patient and you encouraged him and you pushed him to work and to do it?
Finishing an Ironman is an accomplishment on its own, but how about winning? Americans Sam Long and Kirsten Casper took home gold in the men's and women's groups, as well as $7,500 in prize money. But at the end of the day, family will always be the most important aspect.
Sam Long, he does this day in and day out. Being out on course, seeing his wife, seeing his kids out there cheering for daddy as he goes by, and this is a big deal to be here, and he's there blowing his family kisses, and he goes and he wins on the day. So I think it's really cool to see how much the athletes put into the sport, but they also do a good job of balancing family and life priorities alongside it.
This is, of course, the second year in a row the Ironman has returned to the City of Trees. But when speaking with organizers of the event, they described working with the city of Boise as a bit difficult. And with the contract expiring after 2027, it'll be interesting to see if that works out and if Ironman returns to Boise. Till that time, however, extreme racers will still be able to enjoy the scenic views of Lucky Peak and the Greenbelt. For Idaho's News Channel 7, I'm Terrence Holton.
Terrence, thank you. That sign, if you peed in your wetsuit to start that story, pretty funny stuff. Some impressive athletes as well. I could not do that myself. Terrence, he will have more from today's Ironman coming up tonight at 10 o'clock.